Folks, hello. We are live. Welcome to Gamers Health, which Rach and I do every Saturday night, except for a handful of times when we're not available to do so. Usually at conventions, but we're doing something else that's kind of just as much
But
fun.
usually the conventions we do it.
Yeah, we do it. Yeah, we do something that's related to it.
Like if we travel to like a comedy show or something.
Yeah, that's true. So, folks, welcome to Gamers Health. It has been a hell of a ride in 2023 so far in our little gaming community. Highs, lows, some body blows. Um, Holy shit! Well, we'll get to that. I guess we'll kind of do uh, our gamers health updates. We don't have a format for this. We really should.
Yeah.
It's an outline. We start out talking about stuff that's
Well, I
happening.
guess keep it on the eyes for the beginning.
So, um,
Tom Verone.
Mr. Veralt, welcome. So I had an appointment with my endocrinologist yesterday, Friday, and when I had seen my heart failure specialist, my blood pressure was significantly high, and my doc wasn't concerned. He figured it was just abnormal, whatever. But check up on it at home, and he was worried about one number of my blood work, and wants me to see another specialist. It's like, all right. And my endocrinologist, he was like, blood pressure was 120 over 70. So aberration, I think also means don't take your blood pressure over your
No. Yeah.
don't take it over your glucose reader. Probably not going to give you
Yeah, I was like, they put it over there because there's not room.
yep. By the way, TXG, Shadow and Sun, uh Oren, welcome.
Welcome.
So my endo went well. We are increasing the dosage of the fakely named Moonjaro. But so apparently we're going to be increasing that dosage every 4 weeks. Since except for some indigestion and a little heartburn, I'm handling it pretty well. Could possibly lead to weight loss. Weight's been holding steady. It hasn't been lowering, but you
But
take
then
it.
there haven't been like changes much to diet.
No,
You know.
no. Actually, there's been some changes to diet.
I'm sorry.
There are nights where I like to carb up now because I know I'm going to be going
That's
I'm going to
true.
be going blood sugar low. Naughty Professor, last Saturday of the month. Oh, what a month it was. Yes, we're going to delve into that. Epi, welcome.
Oh, cool.
So so the thing was with him is like, well, he looked at all my no number upset him except for one number of my blood work. The same blood work that my cardiologist had, and he looked at it all and he goes, and the cardiologist wasn't upset with anything that had to do with my heart anyway, and he's just like, your calcium is high. I'm like, would it have anything to do with Tums? He goes, Tums is calcium. I'm like, I've been taking a lot of Tums. He goes, cut back on the Tums. Come back in 6 weeks. We'll test your blood again. He goes, yeah, you've been ODing on calcium. Then of course I look at it and it's like, oh, it's elemental calcium, like the active ingredient, 100% elemental calcium. So, all right, lesson learned.
Maybe he'll prescribe you the Prilosec, or you
Oh,
could
well,
get it over
I,
the
I have it.
counter.
I have it. I just took one tonight.
Oh, okay.
We had it sitting. I was like,
I
oh,
didn't remember that.
yes. So I figured, let me take it. Can you take Nexium 20 milligrams with Manjaro? I don't. I guess Prilosec, right, or whatever whatever the generic brand is. I have.
What is that? Omeprazole.
Yeah. So we're gonna. I said I got it. I'll start it tonight.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need to be. I guess improving my internal armor class with heavier calcium deposits. I don't really need
Sure.
that as an extra add-on to whatever's going on. So that's like my big. Oh, and I have to call my endocrinologist on Monday or Tuesday anyway because the new script he called in without flagging it as Mounjaro for type 2 diabetes. And without that, they won't cover it
The
because,
pharmaceutical won't give it
yeah,
because of they want to show a need for
right,
it to be in the market.
right. Tammy.
Tammy.
So, TXG was on next to 40 milligrams for a while, then they dropped it to 20 per doctor orders, and now really have to use it. That's awesome. From my understanding, is if you take it for, I think, 2-week regimen, it cures most issues pretty well, or really makes it really noticeable. I mean, I can also just take a little Pepto too, but
is that calcium too, or is that something different?
no, it's bismuth, pink bismuth, Pepto Bismol. Why is it, by the way, Rich? And this is just a side note. I'm going to go on a tangent here. When we were kids, all the commercials you saw on TV were plop plop, fizz fizz. Oh, what a relief it is! Alka-Seltzer, or the headache commercials, and they come out with the
I have a headache
this big,
Anacin.
Yeah, and now every commercial is for a Medicare
or Excedrin, and I think Excedrin is gone, isn't it?
I don't know, but
they took it away.
Now every commercial you see on TV for medication is a name brand prescription only medication that's probably $1,000 a month if you're not being covered on your insurance or something.
Oh, and they all have a jingle. They all have a song. Yeah.
Oh, Ozempic. It's like, do you have
sky's the limit with Sky Rizzy?
Do you have plaque psoriasis? Are you surviving with AIDS? And then it's like, I mean, the market is sure it's big overall, but the market of people who are watching that show at that exact time is going to be pretty small.
I would beg to differ. I think there's probably more than what you would think, and people need those meds. And then obviously, it's not just the people that have the HIV.
It's the family, it's the friend,
the family, the partners and stuff, because there's medications for them to take to be able to block transmission of the virus. So just a lot of things, and then pharmacists. It's important to pharmacists because they want to get. It's big money, the HIV medications. So
they're all big money rates.
No, I mean, you would hear about patients, if a pharmacy was they'd come to the facility and be looking for patients to sign them up into their pharmacy and whatever. So hey, this is great. They slide me $100 into my medicine bag.
They can slide me $100 for my jar. I'll be very happy.
Yeah, and then they'd get it every month, and they would count on that money to get them through that month. So
wow,
yeah, it's just there's a lot of money that the pharmacies make. It just and it's so many ways that I don't understand.
Pharmacies
or can't
the pharmacies themselves or the pharmaceutical companies?
Both of them.
Oh, all right.
Because
there's a markup everywhere. Yeah. Naughty Professor. I love the medical commercials where they clearly tell you all the wonderful side effects and can cause death, but take it for your health. Don, welcome.
It'll change your life.
Epi, good luck. Health scares are not fun.
Oh.
Yes, TXG. Okay. The potential side effects could include bowel leakage. It's like, what the... It's like those old Alestra. Remember, I mean, what was it, 30 years ago? When they had the, you could eat your potato chips with the non-fat fat. And what it caused was anal leakage. It was Alestra or something like that. Oh,
yeah.
Yeah. Oh, my God. Yeah, Tom, I hate those commercials unless I'm already dying. Taking something that causes death just doesn't seem like a very good idea.
Yes.
Agreed. I'm not going to argue with any of that. So, now, Rach, you have any updates on your end? If I blow my nose, because
on my health, not really, because I haven't seen them, and it just hasn't been time, for an appointment. So everything is at baseline. My weight is in a maintenance stage right now. Maybe like I'm gonna maybe another 2 weeks or a month go back on a more strict calorie deficit.
After the convention,
Maybe so.
we were going to TotalCon at the end of.
Maybe not
February.
wait till after then, but
Well, you're not going to be on it when you're there. I can guarantee
no, I
you
know,
that.
I know, because it's so limited in terms of being able to get food.
Well, no, but even if we have a car, so we can go out and get whatever food we want.
Oh, that's true. I forgot.
Yeah, but it's going to be limited along the lines of, you're not cooking for yourself, you're not prepping for yourself. So it is going to be your choice of bar food, fast food.
Yeah. And so it's either like do what you can during the time before that, So we'll see when I go back into a more serious calorie deficit.
So get your drink on before then.
I'm working on breaking the cider connect because cider is very sugary, and I really enjoy having my ciders, and they just go down too smoothly on the Tuesday nights. So I will drink the Hofbrau Light, so that
and Hofbrau Light.
I understand it's going to be filling.
It is filling.
That way,
I start filling
I'll
up.
I'll probably have two in the.
I start filling up around like my third pint. I'm start going.
Yep.
Oh, it's losing its taste, and then by the fourth one, I'm like, I'm done. It's like I'm done. Here, Rach, I have another buyback in front of me. Here,
he slid that to me like.
Why don't you have
other night? Yeah.
Why don't you have another cider, lady?
Yeah. So that I'm gonna start doing before sort of in the preparation of preparing for the calorie deficit and knowing and having a protocol for what I need to do when I'm out with friends and stuff. So planning is always a good thing. And then, I've just been like staying steady with like my strength training, like doing my TRX and, using my Eric's, how do you call it?
Those adjustable
blocks. Power blocks.
Yeah.
So I use those. I alternate between the TRX and the power blocks, and doing the treadmill, and my yoga. So, I have something to do every day.
There you go. So Eric Altman,
try to make sure I take 30 minutes at least.
Which I'm going to have. I think I am at I'm at 20. So after this, I'm going to have to do some exercise. By the way, after this, as I mentioned on the blog before I came on here, I got to go through emails. I have been neglecting emails for the last week. Got a lot of stuff to catch up on. Part of the reason why I've been neglecting them is because especially when it's matching up like gifts and addresses and other emails, I need to be focused, and there's been no focus with all this wonderful shite that's been going on in the gaming community, thanks to Wizards of the Coast. So Eric Altman was saying no trust, no forgiveness, only punishment. I can't disagree, and I'll be honest with you. I mean, you look at the D&D Beyond announcement, and even the announcement where they announced that, hey, we're not taking away 1.0 OGL, but we're not saying that we won't take it away later. We're just saying it's not going. It's staying. So that's a little nerve-wracking for people. But now you have it under Creative Commons, the 5.1 SRD, which is awesome. It's great. I don't understand Creative Commons completely. I want to see how that works with derivative works. I'm sure I'll be talking with attorney friends over the next couple of days to get a better view on that. ZWiki or the ZWiki, welcome. So, what I really took out of this, and I'm just looking right now at the D&D Beyond announcement from yesterday, is that the Creative Commons license makes the content freely available for any to use. We, meaning Wizards of the Coast, don't control the license and cannot alter or revoke it. It's open and irrevocable in a way that doesn't require you to take our word for it. That is when a major corporation is telling you that we know you've lost all trust in us,
Right. We know you can walk away at any minute.
and
And please,
and have
please,
been doing
please
it,
do.
and you know that our word means shit. Is what it comes down to. Because if their word meant something, they would say, "All right, listen, we're going to leave up the OGL 1.0A. We're not going to take it." No, you already tried to take
But
it.
what would you want? Like, if they were seriously, sorry for what they did
Uh-huh.
and the things they said, and the feelings of fear that they placed in people. What would you want their amends to look like if they were going to make amends?
This is actually the best they could probably do at this point.
Okay.
The only thing I would like to see is them explicitly state that the other SRDs, the 3X SRD and the D20 modern SRD, are also going to be released under a Creative Commons, because that would mean that we have access to everything and it can't be taken away. So yes, Don, Creative Commons is huge on this. It certainly is. Big Bob, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Fool me 3 times, shame on both of us, Stephen King. Listen, we've all been fooled. Okay, that's part of living life. All right. If you don't trust people at some point, you'll only be able to trust yourself. All right. You won't be able to make friendships or connections. There's a certain amount of trust you have to lay out. But when you get bent over by a company who tells you flat out, and by the way, and I've spoken to lawyers on this one, and I've spoken with people in corporate environments, and anybody who puts out, let's, with the new OGL 1.1, let's make it lighthearted as we ram this device up their puckered butthole. Folks,
without Vaseline,
or KY, we won't even spit on it. You know what? We're gonna rub it in. We're gonna take it and put it in sand first, just for your pleasure, and you're gonna be happy, because what they basically said was, "Oh well, listen, the OGL was never meant for dance and mimes. You can't be a mime with the OGL." Why would you throw that in? Because you think your audience is stupid. You think your audience is uneducated. They're just a bunch of backwater people, man. Don't worry about them. Just make it sound nice and they'll lap it up. And the reality is, everybody looked at it and went,
they saw through it.
They saw through it and they went, wow, that's how little you think of us as a community. That's how little you think we deserve. And they tried to put their head down and ignore it, and then it got worse and worse. And they put themselves in a position where the only way out was to literally give up nearly everything that probably would have been lost in court. And we got a very chatty group, so I don't want to lose my
stuff.
TXG, I'm lost for how Wizards of the Coast thought this could have been a good idea to begin with. So, the discussions that I've had with people who may have some possible view into the inner workings, the belief is that this was done by upper middle management, like not the top rung, not the middle rung, that those people that want to be top rung, right? And somebody in some meeting went, "Hey,
so people that are not in touch with,
right,
that aren't passionate. They're not passionate about the game. They're too high up about making the money, and they don't know.
They're too high
the
up
lay of the land.
They're too high up in the chain to be an actual gamer, and they're not so far up in the chain to have a whole wide view of what's going on. But they want to be up there, so they're like, "Hey, I got an idea. What? That license, that OGL license, yeah, it says perpetuity, and it says authorized license. Any authorized license. What if we deauthorize the license? Well, I don't know if that would actually work. We're Wizards of the Coast. We're a part of Hasbro. We're worth $7.5 billion. Who's going to tell us no? Well, you know what? That might just work. Should we run it upstairs? No, 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 no. Let's do this. We're going to impress everybody. We're going to be heroes. We're going to make money for the company because we're going to tax royalties on people. Oh, this is going to be great. And then we're going to get raises. We're going to get bonuses because, the numbers don't look good for this quarter. We've seen the numbers for the quarter. We're not announcing them yet, but we know Hasbro's been dipping. So we could really come out ahead. Holy shit. Think about it. All right. Yeah, let's do it. But remember, you got to put honey on this shit. You got to put honey on it to make them believe. And they did. Well, they tried to. And it got leaked. And then their revision was shite and not great. And then they came out with the 1.2, which was still shite. And that's why they ended the survey a week and a day early. Because when 90%, when 9 out of 10 respondents tell you you're full of shit and we don't want to work with you again, and we don't want to do anything with your company, it's pretty telling.
Yeah, and then it's also like, well, what do they expect after all of that? It's like, are they expecting people to sort of be like, oh, okay, so it's just like business as usual, and
they want
do they really expect that everything's like, we'll do this and everything will just go back to normal?
Well, here, hold on a second. Naughty, I heard something about them releasing SRDs, the earlier SRDs in Creative Commons. I heard such rumors too. I don't know where I saw them. We'll see. So here's the thing. Okay. Oh, Tammy, I think they obviously didn't have any idea, not truly connected with their fan base. But once they rung the bell, you can't unring it.
Mm-hmm.
And now they're being met with bitterness. Again, my connections, and I'm not saying that they're right, but their impression is that somebody, likely outside of Wizards of the Coast, talked to Cynthia Williams and said, you have to unring this bell. You got to fix the shit. And she's like, what shit? Because I'm sure she's being told by her staff, everything was going great. We couldn't have asked for a better response. They all love it. And then all this stuff's in the media. So then it's like, we got to fix this. We got to fix this now. Now, I made a prediction earlier today on today's regular video, and I'll kind of summarize it and repeat it. I don't believe that Wizards of the Coast feels they necessarily gave up all that much value in what we got. For us, it's a lot of value. Okay? This is huge. For the publishers that we know, this is value. For Wizards, it's not. And the reason being is because this has told them where they have to focus, and their focus is not tabletop gaming. And then we're going to back that off anyway. Their focus is the VTT, a digital environment, subscriptions. Remember, Kobold Press has been stressing, we're offering a game that's free to play without subscriptions. Why would they be saying that unless they know Wizards of the Coast wants a game where everybody is paying to play? And if the tabletop, your actual...
Oh, so they don't feel they make enough revenue from this.
The table, right. They're going to make the revenue from their virtual tabletop.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they're seeing as their new base, their new focus. So they can just say, yeah, whatever. But whatever the fuck. Yeah, okay. Here, take this. I'm going to guarantee you, mark my words, 1D&D, 60, whatever it is. I didn't believe this 6 months ago. 6 months ago, I'm like, oh, yeah. The new edition is just going to be like a soft reboot because they have all this great customer base. No. This has proved to me that the next edition is, they're giving lip service right now to backwards compatible. It will not be backwards compatible. Not in any way.
Because to play it, you're going to have to do it in that VTT?
Well, it's going to be written, just like 4th edition was written for a VTT, which never happened because of murder-suicide and other issues with Climax.
Oh my God, that's crazy.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, you only had like a handful of programmers, and the 2 lead programmers.
Wow, I didn't know such drama.
We're married. Oh yeah. So, now they hired 350 programmers to work on this. All right. Your physical tabletop is not their concern anymore. They'll give that to Paizo and Frog God and Kobold and everybody else. Fuck you. To drop in a bucket. If they can monetize the VTT and get subscriptions, they don't care. So 1D&D is going to be written with that in mind. So yes, you could play it on tabletop. There'll be physical books, But just like 4E didn't convert very well to a table because it was kind of like wargaming in a lot of ways, 6E, 1D&D, I'm guessing is going to be that way. I'm going to guess as the playtests go further, they're going to include playtesting that new VTT because that's what they're going to be expecting to get their money from. So we shall see. I'm going to catch up on comments in the meantime. Naughty seems like which of the coast should be held responsible for the emotional health of third-party creators based on everything they put us through. I'm not disagreeing. I listen.
Yeah, that's what amends looks like.
I have to say,
like that.
Folks, if you've been following the events of the last couple of weeks, I've been speaking with a lot of people. Rach has witnessed since this shit went down. I have been on the phone. I've been on voicemails, on my voice calls on my computer, through Facebook Messenger and PMs and Discord, and it hasn't stopped. And it's people who some I've been friends with for years, some I've known for years, and we drifted apart. And now it's like I had, because of the knowledge that I have, and a lot of the knowledge that I've had during these events, I wasn't able to share in a timely fashion because my sources would have been blown if I had. But I was able to at least impart a sense of stability to people who are looking at the fact that their whole business that feeds them and their families, pays for their health insurance and pays their car insurance and pays their car payments and allows them to live, they're now like, oh my God, what am I going to do? I haven't been in the job market for 5 years. And it's not easy. These are fears of a lot of people. And now these fears are being alleviated. And some are still in denial. And I don't blame them. It's like, Rachel and I were discussing this earlier. It's like being in an abusive relationship. Okay. And
now they're trying to like come back in and
right.
Be all apologetic.
Yo,
that honeymoon phase. I love you so much.
I love you so much. Yo, I promise I won't blacken your eye again. I swear to God I won't do it. That was a mistake.
I have flowers.
I actually meant to hit the door. Your face got in the way. I'm sorry. Listen, I really thank you for not pressing charges after the cops put me down in central booking. It shows me that you love me. I mean, I went through that many times in the late 90s, early aughts as a cop in the South Bronx. Okay, I've heard it all. It's not all that dissimilar because Wizards of the Coast like, all right, we know you can't trust us at the moment. We're going to earn back your trust.
We want to make amends, but that's not, amends doesn't just come through words. It comes through,
right.
Real actions. Apology and actions and
I'm going to tell you something else. What's all that's left is the untrusting now. And yes, they were banking on increased popularity because of COVID. But here's the issue. If you read any of these official updates from D&D Beyond or Executive Producer Brick, whatever his name is, who's been more personable.
Kyle guy.
Kyle guy, yes. Each of these updates has included, we did this for you, right? We were trying to make the game more inclusive and protect people, and you basically told us that now you don't. It's your fault though if somebody gets hurt, because we were gonna protect people. We were doing this for you. Actually, I feel like I'm like Russell Brand. I was making this party for you. When he does it.
Oh, and he's opening up the vodka.
The vodka. I got to get my drink now. It was a surprise birthday party for you. And it was to include more inclusive gaming and protect people from people like you. And you ruined it. My cat's looking at me like I'm crazy. But really, that is what effectively happened. And there is still some gaslighting going on. Even if we're giving you all this, don't tell me you were doing it for me. Don't tell me you were doing it for the community. You were doing this
for your
shit.
protection.
Yeah, for your protection.
Mhm.
Don't we're gonna lock you in this walled garden for your protection. But I don't want to be here. Trust us, but we know better. But what if I don't believe you? Oh, but you
You have
should.
to.
You have to. There's no other choice. This the only way to publish if you want to publish anything to do with the D20 system. Well, I can just go copyright. You wouldn't want to do that. Why not? Just trust me. You wouldn't want to do that. So, I mean, this is what we've been dealing with. And again, I'm not saying that they didn't do a great thing in the end. They didn't do it willingly. They did it because they were holy shit, and they didn't do it wisely. Since
Mhm.
the Creative Commons license attached to an SRD that included words like the Beholder, Strahd, areas of the Forgotten Realm, all this stuff now is under the Creative Commons. Not the descriptions, but the actual words. So if you want a character in your module to be named Strahd, you can freely go ahead. Just make sure it's under the Creative Commons because they gave you those rights. So that tells you how fast they were moving, how fast they moved and fucked up. Catching my breath. Sorry, this works me up. How could this experience? How can we make this experience worse for WotC? Um, I don't know.
Well, I would say you don't have to use their,
Right. I mean, but
because the license is there doesn't mean you have to necessarily use it.
right.
And you can stay with what you were gonna do by making your own game and
Yeah, but
following that.
but remember, here's the issue too. All right, Wizards of the Coast (D&D) is the rising tide that lifts all ships. So if you are a publisher, you want them to do well because they're not going to steal market share from you.
You mean to say, make sure they do well so that
In
you
the end,
do well.
in the end,
Yeah.
but
Okay.
now that they're no longer bending you over, effing you in the ass and not giving you the privilege of a reach around. All right. As long as they're not doing that, you kind of have to go, all right, well, I guess we're friends now. No, Wizards of the Coast should not be trusted. And until they make an OGL 1.0 C or B, and it includes the phrase irrevocable to all the SRDs that are out there, I don't necessarily trust them. Which Z is the same way. We don't have to trust WotC. But I don't think they're going to try this again for many years, if ever.
Mhm.
They've been burned too badly.
Yeah.
I was surprised that they tried it in this time frame. I thought
What was your thought about timeframes?
they were going to release the game in probably early. I'm going to say spring of 2024.
Oh.
We're going to get to one D&D, codename one D&D, whatever they're going to call it. The one game to rule them all, and in the darkness bind them. I was expecting we were going to, if we were going to get anything with the OGL, it was going to be then. And the reason why I was thinking that is like, well, every other time they've changed the licensing with a new edition or after the new edition. So 5e didn't get an OGL for, I think it was 15 months after release. What you got was basic D&D, a PDF, the only PDF product that they put out for 5e and all that time. They gave you a PDF that you could play the basic classes for free because they thought gamers are cheap fucks, and they are. And the only reason why they want an SRD, an open game license, is to have free gaming material to play with. So here, you got your free go away, kid. We don't want to hear from you. Go fuck yourself. And the community, both players and publishers, kept on demanding. We finally got an OGL. They don't want to give an open game license. Why? Because the perception is it takes away profits from the main company because we're putting out all this competing material. Small publishers like me, big publishers like Goodman Games. But the reality is this is all supporting your fucking game system. So your game becomes bigger and better as the market grows. It's a symbiotic relationship, which they forgot. They forgot it with 4E. Now, 4E, they realized, well, we can't take away the license. We could deauthorize it. No, we can't do that. There's no legal way to deauthorize a perpetual license. We'll have a game system license, so there's no OGL for 4E. So the use any OGL with any authorized version of the game that's released with an OGL doesn't apply. So when 1D&D 6E comes out, it won't be called an OGL. Calling it an OGL was stupid in this case anyway, because they never offered anything that resembled an open game license. It was extremely restricted and closed. And don't believe that the 1.2 that they were showing was irrevocable. It's irrevocable, and then they give you like a half dozen ways they can revoke it, including that morality clause. So I don't believe that they're not going to try to remove the open game license. I seriously don't. I seriously, if you told me a year from now would I expect them to do it, I'd be like, hey, you know what? Flip a coin. Let's see. Heads they do, tails they don't. But if you release either a new OGL that says irrevocable in it, or you put the other SRDs on the Creative Commons, maybe I won't spit on them as I walk on by, because they hurt so many friends of mine by doing this shit. Okay, big publishers, small publishers, people who had plans to go from part-time,
major life changes.
Major life changes that they had planned in advance. Like, I know when I'm going to give my employer my notice, becomes, holy shit, I'm so glad. Imagine if this if I planned this for beginning of the year. Oh my God, I would have shot myself in the head, literally. And it's like, just take it one day at a time. We'll get that. So now this is a great. Nobody should have been put through this shit.
No.
Nobody. The mental stress, and of course, as we're at right now, I like the results. I just don't fully believe them, because Wizards of the Coast has proven themselves to be untrustworthy. How else have they been untrustworthy? Wow, we have all these out of print Magic the Gathering cards.
Oh God.
Let's reprint them and sell them in boxes for $999.99.
Well, they also want to make that digital too, and I guess virtual cards, which, it's interesting with that OGL thing. I don't know if I'm hearing this correctly, because I think I've only heard bits and pieces. I've never read it. I heard a lot about like NFTs and just a lot of online things that are involved with making a game, like maybe things that make me think of like people trying to set a video game, or things like that. Because it was more geared toward that people, they were afraid that people were going to steal from them what they want to do with the D&D.
Right.
And that we were a byproduct, like us basement trolls were, just like we're not thought of, probably, or if we were thought of, it's like, okay, well, we can lose them. That they're not that they don't generate that much revenue, right? So
we're recyclable. Okay, it's like Soylent Green. Like, Soylent Green is people. It's people.
Is that correct, or is that not? Is that like a weird?
It's not weird at all, right? They are. I personally think they see their current base that isn't on a VTT, the paper, the pen and paper gamers. We are a liability, because
because however you play the game and write the game, present, facilitate,
Damn it, yes. She's talking as a social worker, folks, so you have to excuse my wife. But yeah, and here's the thing.
It's not going to be
controlled.
Yeah.
If you are playing on their VTT, when that VTT comes out, I can almost guarantee you that there's going to be an X card feature. You know what an X card is, right?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay. Rach, how do you feel about spiders?
I do not like them.
Okay. So I'm running an adventure, and giant spiders come out at you, and they cast webs.
X card, that's like
oh, I can't handle this because
Okay, yes,
yeah,
it's like
it should be used for
in
things
yoga, it's like a green or red. Yeah.
green or red. It's like that's that way.
Yeah,
Like that,
or whatever
that's
you choose
that's
to,
going
that you
to
don't want hands-on assists or
right.
whatever,
Yeah. Well, what?
or that you're open to it.
Right. Well, this is something that is not at the vast majority of play tables, right? But now you include that into this and the ability to file a complaint about your game master for making inappropriate comments. File a complaint against your fellow players because we want a more inclusive environment. They can control all that, and also, by the way, when you're playing in a digital sphere, they can do stealth changes to your your rented products, right? All this stuff that you rent on D&D Beyond, all these books. Oh, well, no, we're going to change the background for this. Oh, wait, hold on a second. So somebody found that class to be offensive. Can you rewrite that and make it? And you got to play your character and go, oh, wait a second. How'd this all change? So happening in the background. You don't own it, or you don't own anything on D&D Beyond. As people learned as they were trying to cancel accounts. If you cancel your account, you can't come back and have any of your shit again. It's all, but wait a second. If I bought it and I reactivate my account later on, well, no. It's one and done, man, one and done. And that is the attitude.
Well, good. I guess it's gonna stay like that because I wouldn't be paying twice for some in-game purchase.
So, Tom, I don't think this is over yet. I agree. Keon, they've been underestimating their audience for the quality of their products for years. Who are the products for these days? The products for these days, and listen, I'm not saying I haven't actually read parts of these products. I don't own them. How's that sound? Okay, I've read parts of these products for review purposes only, and these products, the recent releases, they have had a good release, and I think the Yawning Portal, which I do own, was one of the better ones. But that just reworked old classic adventures, right? They are there to the recent adventures, or at least the recent products are there to ring a bell. I want to ring this bell. I want to ring this bell. I need to get my credit with certain communities that are very loud and vocal on Twitter, but probably don't even play the game all that much. So, would I like to play one D&D? Maybe. I play tested 5e. I gave up on playtesting 5e when the playtesting became insane, and you went from, I love this playtest. This is great material. I want you to keep this game. And the next version was, what the fuck is this shit? I understand, but we burned out as a group after doing that, and we were in the friends and family stage. So I can't see myself playtesting another RPG that's going to go through that kind of a swinging mess. And I expect that swinging mess is going to increase as it gets geared more toward the VTT. But I could be wrong. Naughty Professor still cracks me up with their harmful, hateful conduct or content. Pretty sure OGL 1.1, 2.0, 1.2, and how they handled it was probably more harmful to people, without a doubt. And I'll be honest with you, this is not knowing your audience and not knowing your publishers. The publishers that I spoke to said, when it came to the morality clause, they were like, you know what? If you give us a well-defined morality clause for the products that we produce and write and have art done for, and we know where the boundaries are, they're well-defined. We might not like it necessarily. It might stifle some things, but we can work within that. But when they added personal conduct, and I've been told by lawyers in the corporate world that nobody up the chain must have known that was being added, because you don't add personal conduct on something that, like, now you're going to have to like monitor social media on everybody, right?
Right. You've opened yourself up to a lot of like oversight and like ways of demonstrating how you did that.
Big Bob, greed, now the selfish and excessive desire for more of something such as money. Yeah. Tom, Chris Cox had a chat with Williams. And then Williams, I'm sure, had a quick chat with whoever was just under her. Because my sources are telling me that she wasn't blindsided by the media, But when she was kind of blindsided by the actual people
By the
beneath,
fans,
no, she was blindsided by the people by
her staff.
by the level right below her, who was
Oh.
either insulating her or leaving her out of the loop.
Oh,
Maybe to take full
wow.
credit for a great job when a great job came up, and then when a great job didn't come up, it's like, oh, how do we? They were trying to handle this without getting Cynthia involved. Once
Mm.
the adults came into the room, we got the fix this and fix this now. And I believe it's a fix this and fix this now because, again, the Creative Commons includes a bunch of terms that Wizards of the Coast has specifically stated is restricted content for the for an OGL, but under the Creative Commons, they gave it all away. So that was a do it and do it now. Nadia, I agree. They want to go full digital and subs and microtransactions. In a global market with millions of subs possible, traditional tabletop RPGs is a very niche market, not worth their time or resources. And that's, again, they were looking for this back with 4E. And they were expecting with 4E to do something as simple as, well, you want to have, your players are going to be fighting 10 orcs? Well, you can purchase 10 orcs at 20 virtual minis at 25 cents a piece. Imagine how much it would cost you if you were buying these physical product. They'd be at least $2.50 a piece. Think of all the money you're saving. You're buying little shit that doesn't even exist. All right. So, but now they've seen how great wow, thanks. My DM is giving me a flaming sword. I got my flame tongue. Well, if you want to make sure that your character's avatar on the screen has a flaming sword, the flaming sword is $1. Shit. All right. That's how they're going to monetize the players. Trust me. You want your character to look awesome, exactly how you pictured him. I want a silver tiara, and I want my nice necklace, a golden necklace with blue stones. I want an iron stone revolving around my head. Oh, that'd be awesome. How much does it only cost? Oh, now you're gonna
like
be
Shannon's little games.
Yes, and when your character dies, you're gonna be even more fucking upset. So, God help us. Tom, anyone read Janelle Jacquet's statement about why the Wizard of Monarchy? No, I did.
No.
Tom, if you can send it to me later, might be worthy of a video. Janelle is very smart. Has been in this industry for ages. Nadi, I pretty much stopped playing right as 3.0 was coming around the mountain, and I collected 3.5, 3x, 3.5. I bought the core books for 4E. I bought the smaller trade paperbacks for 4E. Never. I still remember before. He's like, everybody had the same progression. Everybody gets +1 per level. Then what's the difference between classes? I couldn't get it. So, the effect of this on business was massive. Well, what they did was, now Paizo selling out on all their print stock, which was supposed to last them for 8 months or 9 months, selling it out in like a week and a half, 2 weeks. It's awesome for Paizo. Tom, I'm guessing that's the link. Thank you. That's awesome for Paizo. The reality is, though, they are not Wizards of the Coast. But now, the other reality is Wizards of the Coast doesn't want to be Wizards of the Coast. Wizards of the Coast does not want to have a high amount of print products. Now, the other question that I've seen people ask is, well, what's going to happen with the DMs Guild? They're like, oh, nothing changed with the DMs Guild, right? For now, I will guarantee you, though, that with the DMs Guild, that is where they're going to want their third-party market to be. Because they get, at the moment, 25 cents on the dollar for everything that you sell there. And if they can take full control over it, they can take half the money of everything you sell on it. Easy money, digital environment. And something else that's interesting, and Rob Conley found this. I'm sure he got an email. I didn't find it in my email. But pretty much, congratulations. And this is not a direct quote, but due to Wizards of the Coast announcing that they will not deauthorize the 1.0A OGL, your products can continue being sold, which tells you that drive-through was ready to, drive-through was ready to shut down
Wow.
OGL sales. Think about that, folks. Think about that.
Mm.
Now, remember, drive-through was also Roll20, so now they're going to be in direct competition with Wizards of the Coast because remember the other part was VTTs. We're protecting you from bad VTTs. This is like protecting you from like doing bad work on your own phone. If you ever watch Rossman on YouTube, he talks about the fact that the reason why this right to repair is a big issue is because manufacturers want to protect you from damaging your own property. It's my property. Let me damage it. Let me fix it and not charge me $400 to get a $10 part and pop it open. This is what Wizards of the Coast, I think that's what they were basically trying to do. They want to save you from bad VTTs. Listen, VTTs, and they even stress this, right? In OGL 1.1 or 1.2, whatever. There's been somebody 1.2, the latest one.
Mm-hmm.
VTTs can do whatever you do at the game table, but they can't go further. So, I guess you can roll dice and you can move counters, but they can't be animated, and spells can't go whoosh and have a sound effect and whoosh, fireball, boom. No, they can't have any of that stuff because they want the market on that. And they were like, you can't do that with the OGL. Well, now you can do it with Creative Commons, and they're admitting that, which means that, you know what? They have to make the better product. They have to. And that better product has to be a better RPG and a better VTT. Because if there's a better RPG out there, guaranteed there's a VTT that will step up to make themselves a better VTT for that better RPG. So Wizards of the Coast has to have an amazing RPG that works amazingly with the VTT. There's got to be synergy. And I don't know if they can do it. They believe they can. So, all right. 4 was World of Warcraft. I don't know about that, but it was certainly inspired by World of Warcraft. It was certainly inspired by subscriptions and the idea of microtransactions. Never give up the ship. Won't be satisfied until OGL 1.0A is forever and always in place without the slightest chance of being messed with. Enough said. Well, that would be a 1.0AB with irrevocable added to the license. David, welcome.
David.
The other side of the pond. The pondster. Rachel, I don't want to tell you how far behind I am, and we are 25 minutes behind in chat. Holy shit! All right, abusers need to be taken behind a barn and beaten with farm implements. Yes, Tom. Wait a second. You're supposed to be godlike or Christian, whatever.
Yeah, like a
religious, good man. Bad words.
Kind.
They tried gaslighting on a massive scale. Yes, they did. When you get gaslit like that, trust is hard to come by because you've been burned.
It's that mental abuse.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. You can't trust them. They know you can't trust them. They know that.
And they tried to make it so you wouldn't trust yourself.
Yeah.
In an abusive relationship.
Yeah. This is
legit. Yeah.
The CC is huge. It actually opens a lot more to creators. Don thinks it's personally it's awesome. I need somebody like Rob Conley to sit down with me on a video and actually explain what the Creative Commons allows you to do and how to properly quote it. The CNC move is also being about hoping everyone doesn't jump on Orc as well. Well, Orc, Orc was getting all these other publishers to come together. Different politics, people who might personally not like each other.
That sounds really good.
They're putting bygones behind themselves and stepping up, and that was, really huge. I think the movie may do okay. This is naughty, but it isn't like anyone has any connections to the characters or even setting to draw in the numbers they want, like Lord of the Realms or Marvel Avengers. Exactly. And they should have said it in the Forgotten Realms. Apparently they didn't. So I don't know. Lost. We're here. We're from Wizards of the Coast, and we're here to help. Didn't it used to say we hear from the government?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
exactly what they said.
Do you think third-party publishers will still jump on board with other licenses considering the 1.0a backpedal? I suspect that very few, and that includes myself, are anxious to go to 1.0a. We might publish under the Creative Commons. I think that's certainly, but the 1.0a, it's still dangerous. Nunzio claims of Hasbro making a house clearing. I've heard that we're going to probably see a couple of people leaving in the next month or two. What's happening to a whole new unifying? What happened to a whole new unifying system? That went out the window when they thought they could monetize it more than they already have. I'm going to skip a few folks if they're not big, because I'm trying to catch up. Oh, look, I'm only 21 minutes behind. I don't think it's the fault of new TSR. TSR has their own faults. I don't think this is theirs.
It's always fun to blame stuff on them, though.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah, they're not big enough for this to be part of the issue. This had more.
Right, they're not important enough. I
No.
guess. Yeah.
No. And Tom agrees. Don agrees.
Okay.
Naughty. It was fun to watch Magic the Gathering YouTube creators welcoming the tabletop RPG community to the Wizards of the Coast party they've been dealing with for a while now. I'm sure. It's like, you're fucking us. You're fucking us. Devil Ham. All those excuses were just flack and an attempt to confuse the issue. Exactly. And I'm telling you right now, I've said this before. I will say this again. If you want an inclusive environment at your game table, you start with the players and the DM. So if you want to make it a more inclusive game experience, it's not the rules that you write. It's how you educate or put out a pro. There should be a whole movement. If they're really concerned about a more inclusive game environment, put your money where your mouth is, step up to the plate, go to conventions, show how these games are supposed to be run in that case.
Oh, right. Model how an inclusive game is run.
Yep.
And how you accommodate many different people from like different backgrounds,
Right.
different abilities.
I do that all the time at conventions.
Yeah.
Eric Altman is like an abusive and violent ex who's gaslighting you while trying to get back together after you get out of the hospital. We were there. And the thing is, Rich and I have experienced this from opposite ends of the employment spectrum. I was a cop in South Bronx in the late 90s, where I dealt with it the most before I got promoted, and Rich was a social worker. So yes, we've dealt with it. They want to shift to digital content, definitely. I promise I'll never do it again. Yep. Devil Ham. D&D is making $150 million, but they want $1 billion. To do that, they need every player at the table to pay monthly, not just DMs. They need them to pay more. Yep. And if I wanted to play I haven't played a massive multiplayer game in ages. Every once in a while, I stop in and I play, like every 6 months, I'll play EverQuest for a couple of days, free, just to get it on my system. I don't fund any of my old friends because they're not playing EverQuest anymore. So, Eric Altman, a massive stinking smokescreen of flatulence. How many players played EverQuest 2 and never paid money for the upgrades? Yeah. Although with EverQuest 1, you had to keep on buying new region packs. I still remember the first one. Oh God, the Moon, whatever it was. I didn't have my video card crapped out. I had to buy a new video card before I could play a game I was paying for. Stuart, welcome. Always good to see you. We're only 11 minutes behind, Rach.
Yay! Keep on going. Keep on going.
David Thompson, virtual blue hair dye for your character to make her look like you. Only $2. Hey, let's leave out the blue hair dye. I did that a year and a half ago almost.
And that might be why.
Hey, he's picking on me. I know it. Don't let the orc quit. Make a new competitor to Wizards of the Coast. I'm not disagreeing. I'm hoping. I am hoping, from what knowledge I have, these companies were coming together. There was talk of forming an actual, I guess, company.
501.
No, that was to run the orc, yeah, nonprofit, a 501(c)(3). But there was also talk of getting, I don't know what you call it, not a corporate club, but an alliance together of various publishers across the board to be able to react to this shit the next time it comes up
Mm.
and to have their interest in mind, not WotC's interest in mind. Yeah, I published under. I never got it. Naughty, I'll probably do a video on it tomorrow. I'm going to talk to Rob. I know he sent me a copy of it, probably on my Discord. So I will reread it and we'll talk about it. That's like Budweiser telling us that they are protecting you from bad beer. And Budweiser, by the way, is InBev, and they probably own like 40% of the worldwide beer market and then some. So they are your WotC. Yes, Saint C. Lots of far talk today, but you know what? We're talking about wizards and the stink that they brought up, so it's not all that inappropriate. Don, the Creative Commons aspect of this is monumental as it opens up broad doorways for creators. And also, like I said, it opens up a broad doorway to use things like, I don't know, beholders and Strahd and a bunch of other stuff. Not their descriptions, but just the names, because that got opened up in the Creative Commons. I bet anything Wizard of the Coast pulls out on VTT will be but it's, yeah, you know what? If they're not, their competition isn't going to be WoW. Their competition is going to be other VTTs, and it's not going to. You're going to move your token from or your animated character from one spot on the board to other. It will probably have height and depth, so it will have fun stuff. Listen, if they really wanted to assimilate the gaming community, put that out. And then allow people to go, hey, if you want to run it with AD&D 182E, Basic Expert, BECME, Pathfinder, allow all these mods to be purchased for an additional $10 and, I don't know, $2 a month. And I can guarantee you'd have a good portion of the people right now telling witches to go fuck themselves going, wow, I could do that. It's the new shiny. Eric, which is the Coast, is incapable of making 6E the RPG ever. Well, they are. I think their goal right now is that they want an RPG that they can be permanently upgradable. And it's the final edition because we're going to do stealth edits to your content, and you'll just never know. Keon, Orc is still going to coordinate the SRD content of all the better gaming companies, right? Or is Orc going to be a new game system to compete with Wizards of the Coast? Orc is its own SRD that you bring it's your own OGL. Knock on wood. It's your own. It is its own open game license, effectively, which you as a publisher bring your SRD to. So, Cobalt Press, their Black Flag, which is going to be a 5e clone. We know that because their recent releases are forward compatible. 5e releases, mind you, forward compatible with Black Flag. So you know what they're planning. So think of it as Pathfinder, but for 5e. And it might steal thunder. Again, I don't see 1D&D being backwards compatible at this point with 5e, as they have been claiming. Another reason for that is Black Flag was put into design phase at the end of the summer, before any of the shit went down. Wolfgang is very connected. Wolfgang was obviously hearing rumors, and if he was hearing rumors, whether it was the OGL or the fact that 1D&D was not going to be truly compatible with 5e, Wolfgang wanted to make sure there was a system to keep his 5e stuff relevant. No inside information on that one. That's just observations. Phantom Harlock. So then a regular game for 99% of the people. That's what we want, right? But they don't care. They could lose 80% of their current fan base, their current market. And if they can pick up, I don't know, half that from the movie, but convert them to a VTT that isn't even out yet. Here's the other issue with this thing, right? They're expecting to pick up gamers that are going to come to 5e and then move on to 1D&D. The timing of the movie is wrong. The movie should have been next year. But Neither here nor there. And I'm not telling people to boycott it. I don't go to the theaters anymore. I just don't appreciate the crowds at the theaters. So. But maybe I'll get lucky. Maybe the movie will be underappreciated and we can go to an empty theater. We shall see. David, I still play EverQuest 1. Oh, geez. All right. Well, God bless you. I think EverQuest 1 I had more fun with than EverQuest 2. I had more fun doing solo shit with EverQuest 1 and doing the, dare I say it, the racial servers where you only could communicate with similar races. Otherwise, you had to do hand signals. That was always fun. It was cool. My issue with Orc is we heard this before by Wizards of the Coast on OGL 1.0. Orc will not be revocable, but we shall see. I believe 1.0 is now safer than it's ever been. If they ever tried to revoke it, it would be an easy pivot to switch to the CC license without arduous rewrites. Yeah, that doesn't mean they're not going to revoke it. Because if they decide that they want to do a new OGL and they don't want the new OGL to automatically make the old OGLs valid with a new version of D&D, well then they got to not call their new thing an OGL or they got to ditch the old ones. So, I'm hesitant to say that we won, John. I really am. Or you could say you won the battle, but have you won the war? I think that we're not looking at the full map of what's going on, and maybe we did win the battle that was important to us, but Wizards of the Coast is going to walk away from this and go, and we won too, because we're giving you tabletop, but we're taking the virtual realms, and that's where the money's going to be, and that's all they care about. And anybody who thinks that they ever cared about the customer base or the player base, you're sadly delusional. They've proved that. Holy crap! I think we've almost caught up.
Wow.
Devil Ham. The sad part of it is they wanted the biggest VTT out. All they had to do was release it. They've already had a monopoly, as much as 85% by some reports. Market share. The entire farce was pointless. Yeah, the entire farce was a person or persons hoping that this will lead to a big promotion, I suspect. And hopefully this leads to them, I don't like to say, hopefully somebody gets fired. Hopefully it leads to them not having the position of authority they're in now. Maybe they get given that corner office that used to be the broom closet and stick them in there. John, I think Hasbro doesn't care about book sales and we give them away for free if all the geeks would love and be free commercials for the brand. Well, no, books have a cost. And they want to do less books. Physical books are a cost. And they don't want to give this stuff away because they are now no longer aiming to sell in a physical environment. They want you to buy your bundles directly from Hasbro, cut out the middleman, cut out the distributor, give them more money for your physical book, give them money for your digital content, but you get 2 weeks before the book ships. Come on, more money, more money, more money. Naughty, we live in the age of subscriptions, which the coaches want to chase that model as well. More power to them. Just like those of us who don't want to go there alone with the rules we have relied on. Yep. OGL 1A is not revocable. Well, they believe it is. And neither you nor I nor any other publisher in the gaming community really wants to fight that battle. And that includes Wizards of the Coast. When I say they believe it is, I don't know if they believe it is. They just believe they can outspend. But if they lost that battle, they would lose pretty much everything they've given away with the Creative Commons. I don't think they're going to want to go that route. It's a dangerous route to go to. But so now, if you are a publisher and you've come through this now, you come through this beaten up. Nobody's come through this unscathed. All right, I've spoken with people who were really in the dumps because your livelihood has suddenly changed. Now that you come up for air and you've put yourself in a position where you've revitalized, and you can see your future again, you have to secure that future. And if you're going to rely on a 1.0a to secure your future, you're not securing shit until they. If Creative Commons, sure, that's not revocable. Find out how to use it. That's great. But if you are, I could use the 1.0a with uh, the next printing of this, which I thought was going to be a collectible. But
Or you could do it with both. Just spread your action, with
well,
that and the York. No?
well,
Or would that just be
I
useless
don't.
to have two different things?
Well, I couldn't do it with the Orc because I could do it with the Creative Commons though.
Oh.
I need to find out and discuss this stuff, because the Orc, because you can't put Woods of the Coast IP stuff under the Orc.
So you'd have to do. You intended to do that work.
Yes. Now I don't have to convert. Now I can say, all right, I can put it out under the Creative Commons. I could go into 1.08. It's not going to affect me all that much if a year from now they fuck me, because this is not how I make my money. And the money that comes from this, after paying my costs, goes to paying my team, and then money back to the community when I do giveaways. I mean, seriously, my drive-through monies are all pretty much for that. One good movie return makes 10 years of book profits. That is certainly true. This is what they're hoping that they're getting out of this. Now that they've honored the terms of the prenup, I don't care what they do with their 60 license. Swicky. If they want to repeat the mistakes of 4E, let them. That's between them and their new market. Yes, it is a great comment, John. When are we getting to get the 10 cars 1E? 10 cars, what? 10 cars, first edition? You're going to get, listen, the original Continual Light is sell for PDF on drive-through, but it doesn't look like this. The cover doesn't look. Same artist, by the way. James just did a custom cover from this time. And otherwise, you can snag it on Amazon for $7. It ships free. You'll probably get it in a day or two. Unless I'm ordering in bulk, in which case it takes like 3 weeks, and I'm not paying them like through the nose to get my stuff. But that's my little system. But I want to actually expand beyond it. We're going to be supporting me and Glenn, maybe one or two others. We're going to be working on a Munsters product. So we shall see supers from Munsters, and then you can probably convert that to Halls and Trolls. Yeah, I still got that sword and wizard relationship, but there's no more swords and wizardry on the cover, and things have changed enough that it's got that relationship. It doesn't have to go too far. I don't really need to stray that far. If you, I mean, I take out. Listen, your bonuses are only +1. There's no penalties. There's specialized classes or pretty much all single shtick. Leveling is based upon sessions played. I mean, you can take this Swords and Wizardry, Continual Light, and run any adventure with it from your AD&D days or your basic days or current OSR days, DCC stuff. And it should fit in perfectly. It should run smoothly. But, why reinvent the wheel? It was interesting getting Swords and Wizardry Light out when we did. And that was to get that whittled down to 4 pages from that. So this is just building up from those 4 pages. I like the results. I think that the work that I did with James Spahn on this is spot on. Really, really good. And I think it holds up over the ages. Naughty, don't get me started on a print-on-demand layout for drive-through requirements. That is a pain. That's why I gave up on it. I couldn't. I am not a professional in this shit. I uploaded it to Amazon, and Amazon said to me, "You have 2 errors. Do you want us to fix them?" I went, okay. Bink. Okay, your book is ready for sale. We advise that you order a proof copy. Okay, proof copy. I think I ordered 5 proof copies. I think they came stamped proof copy, and yeah. That was fine. It met my requirements. It was pretty good. Do you think that when D&D will be delayed for rewrites to further separate it from 5e? I don't think so. I suspect the rewrites that they're going to do are more in how to integrate it further with the VTT, and I think that's going to be a lot of behind the scenes stuff. I don't, but they're definitely going to be different enough. I don't see the ability to use your 5e rules and use your 5e SRD and get up to a 1D&D kind of version, kind of like Fake It. I don't see that happening. We won the war for the OSR. I'm not mad anymore. I'll go back to my old relationship with Witch of the Coast, buying a classic TSR PDF occasionally. I might rent the movie. John David, what about your Coke days?
Mhm.
Are we talking Diet Coke or Diet Pepsi? If you're talking something else, you're talking up the wrong tree. I will take it. I will take it as a weird ass joke.
Yeah.
Now, I'll tell you the same thing I said to my psychological investigator when I was getting hired for the job back in '94. Have you ever tried narcotics, illicit or otherwise? I went, no. How about marijuana? No. I never even smoked. What about alcohol? And to the point where I woke up in my own vomit.
Oh.
She's like, oh, well, that's an honest answer. I go, well, I'm just telling you. I'm telling you the truth. That holds true to today, and I still have never smoked anything.
No.
So, yeah. No, although actually I should say, you know what? Thanks to a mutual friend of ours, we do have some unused edibles, gummy edibles. But I'll probably have to wait until our obligations are done with our family friend that we're going to keep an eye on daily,
Right.
and then maybe I can just
Yeah, and like not
mellow
while the
out.
kid is over.
Yeah,
Nothing like that.
just
you know?
mellow. I'll just mellow out. It'll be a unique experience.
And just don't drink with it.
God damn it! You gotta make it. You gotta take all the fun out of this
nice.
stuff. All right. TXG, I'll wager they come out with a license specific to 1D&D, which they should have done this time, but they couldn't, right? Because it was still being released for 5e. I don't know why they did this now. This was done early. It should have been done with the new release. It wouldn't have sparked an eyebrow. But nope. Keon, I tried to figure out how to POD a single book on Lulu, and I had a really hard time figuring it out. I didn't try Lulu yet. So I should have. I'm sure when this new digest edition gets out, I'm sure we'll figure out how to get it up in all these different places. Naughty, I need to look into selling POD on Amazon. Amazon was it took me, who has no idea what I'm doing with that shit, and said, hey, you screwed up and we can fix it. And I was like, okay, I screwed up and you can fix it. I like that idea. John, laugh out loud. It was a lyric from a song that fit the comment. Laugh out loud accusation. Definitely apparent too vague. Yeah, I was like, Coke. I've encountered a large amount of it in my days in the late '90s and early aughts when I worked narcotics in the South Bronx. But Naughty Professor, that sounds like a good idea. And Twiki, I smoked enough for the both of us, buddy. Rach used to be a smoker before I met her.
Smoker of tobacco.
Yes.
Marlboro Lights.
Not the ganjas.
Only in college when appropriate.
Wait, there's appropriate times for ganja?
I guess.
Hanging out with my friends, having munchies, eating pizza and binge
Just don't
watching.
drink with it.
We were binge watching Seinfeld and having munchies. Oh God! Wow, you all have kept me on my toes. I gotta say. Death End. I only started smoking MJ when it became legal.
Ah, okay.
I worked with a sergeant who said that again, we did narcotics enforcement, street narcotics enforcement unit, worked with the citywide narcotics teams, and Chris, God bless him, he'd be like, the first thing I'm gonna do when I retire, oh yeah, I'm gonna roll the biggest spliff. But he goes, but that's about 10 years away, and I'm fine in the meantime. I'm like, okay, mate, you smoked before you came on the job? He goes, oh, every day until I went through the
Oh,
hiring
sure.
process. I was like, I could see it. He was also short, but I guess he felt better when he was high.
What are you saying? He was trying to medicate his shortness?
Yeah. John, if you had to pick one adventure and one meal forever on an island, what would it be?
Oh, which
Oh,
adventure and which meal?
yeah. All right. Well, if it's going to be one single adventure, gosh darn it. Maybe B2 because it's a setting with little adventures and all that stuff, and it basically allows you to expand upon it. So it's like an infinite adventure. If I was going to get one that I would enjoy rereading, I would say Temple of Elemental Evil, because that's a whole campaign worth of adventures in one adventure, right? Does that count? And one meal forever? Ugh, I ain't got it. Sorry. There's not one meal I could eat every day. At one point I was gonna say it was gonna be Taco Bell, but no, I'd get sick of Taco Bell every day.
Yeah. What about Chitties?
I was about to say Chitties. Chitties cheesesteaks. All right.
And it's really not shitty. It's Chitties.
Chitty with the onion rings, though.
Absolutely.
Onion rings got to be part
of
it.
And the mac and sleeves.
Oh, the mac. Oh, no. I'd be a fat fuck if that was.
Yeah, exactly.
That was my one forever meal. Holy shit. Well, no, maybe I had the mac and cheese for breakfast, and then I have the sandwich for lunch, and then I have the onion rings for dinner.
Oh, like just the one side of the sandwich.
Yeah,
half the sandwich and half the rings. And
yeah, okay.
Half the sandwich,
we
half
could
the
possibly
rings.
do that. If Wizards of the Coast doesn't hit the 2027 monetary benchmarks, $500,000, do you think they would be spun off? I don't know. I would not be surprised within the next 5 years if we saw Wizards of the Coast do with Dungeons and Dragons what we've seen Games Workshop do with their Warhammer IP for the board game, right? Like not the board game, the role playing game. They kept the mass battle miniatures game, but they've farmed out the RPG, and I could see them farming out the RPG aspect as they keep the movie, TV show, VTT might just go in its own different direction. Who the hell knows? I could see some of that happening. Borderlands and pizza is Tom. I see keeping a Borderlands, yeah, B2. Naughty. They should have done a movie based on B2. There would be more recognition to it. They should have done it based on B2. They could have done it based on Drist. Although I'm hearing rumors that TV series may be based on Drist. I don't know how they're going to do that with the current environment, being that Drow elves are known as the Dark Elves and we're Midnight Black. How that's going to work, but if it happens, we shall see. Taco Bowl takes the same 6 ingredients and makes 106 items for them. God bless. But by the way, we have 24 people in the live stream.
Nice.
Which is spot on, beautiful. Thank you. Last night's live stream with the random generated party, we had a full panel of guests. So we filled up all 9 slots of the Hollywood Squares or the Brady Bunch, depending on how you want to look at it. And I had 108 guests, 108 viewers at one time. So holy shit. Playing one module and eating one food item forever would be the third layer of hell kind of punishment. Yep. All right, Death Hand. I can kind of agree with you with that one. I can understand. Yeah, certainly it would grind on you. A movie based upon the cartoon. I have fond memories of the cartoon. I have the cartoon in DVD format, and I have no desire to watch it. Again, I have fond memories of it. Used to watch it when I worked retail before going to work on a Saturday morning. I would watch my D&D cartoon as an adult, but I don't want to go back.
It was a continuing cartoon.
Yes.
Oh.
There's a whole story behind that, Rach, that I could tell you about.
Hmm.
It was part of Gary's downfall when he went up to the West Coast.
Oh.
Because Gary started to believe his own.
Yeah. Things started getting freaky.
Well, you Rach heard some of the stories, and he went out there with Ernie, and basically, Ernie said that there were times they would go to, they'd be invited to parties at drug dealers' homes, mansions out in the West Coast and all that stuff. And it's what you did when you were part of Hollywood,
Mm-hmm.
because they wanted to have important people there. And when Gary was away, he kind of lost the company. So, does the cartoon hold up? I don't know. I mean, I have fond memories of the Star Trek cartoon. I don't know if that really holds up.
I didn't even know there was a cartoon with that.
Oh yeah, after the TV series ended, they brought it back as a cartoon a couple of years ago
Really?
with the same voice actors. But now they can have more aliens because aliens didn't require makeup; they required animation.
Mm-hmm.
It was crappy animation.
Oh.
Oh, they could use the same actors as the car commercial. I was thinking with the Brazilian car commercial, using those characters a couple of years ago. I'm gonna have to look it up right after this.
No, I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, Naughty, he was laughing. It's like, yeah, same regarding have the D&D cartoon series. It didn't really age well. What did age well, and I have to continue rewatching, is Get Smart. Get Smart held it up. I have that complete collection somewhere.
Behind the TV.
See, Ray knows exactly where it at. Where's my Get Smart at? There you go. Naughty, where's the coast making the same mistakes GG made? Gary Gygax, trying to bring the game into the mainstream media while ignoring the crap going on in the corporate office. I think they're too big to fall into the Gary trap. I just think that this was individuals that got that thought they were going to find a shortcut to getting more money and more power, and instead they kneecapped themselves. The original Star Trek cartoon was far better than the two recent ones. Movies, yes, not going to disagree. But don't worry, you get Christopher Pine. Hey, Chris Pine is going to be your D&D lead. I know, you're so excited, David.
Which one is Chris Pine now?
He was in Wonder Woman.
Oh.
He was her crashed pilot.
Okay.
So, yeah. Dubo, Star Trek cartoon was the shit. And John, Aqua Teen Hunger Force holds up. Yes, it does. Hell, even the old Simpsons holds up, right?
Yeah, that always does.
And
it always appears in
South Park
video. Yeah,
South Park. It's
definitely.
Pine was a poor Kirk. Yes. Keon, I would have done D&D movie a little bit like Jumanji. Have the movie of the people playing and the movie of the end game story, like Princess Bride. That would appeal to gamers. It would not have appealed to the general public, and that's what they're trying to. They don't need us.
Princess Bride is so sweet.
They don't need us as customers. They don't. We're an afterthought. An afterthought. King of the Hill. Yep. King of the Hill. I can't do his voice very well. What else? Oh wait, the other one. The one
The Griffins.
The Griffins. Yes, I happened. Yeah.
Shit, what is it called?
Oh God, I can't.
Family Guy.
When I was working, when I still before I spent my last 6 months in the. Oh, you're not really looking to get promoted and stay beyond your 20 years? Well, let's get you out of this important position and just dump you. When I still had my desk, they pinned the Family Guy plushie to my board at my desk. because I was told, Sarge, you look like him.
Oh, Peter Griffin.
Peter Griffin. And I was like, Tatiana, I'm gonna take that as a compliment because you weren't born here. But okay. I don't think it. I think she meant as a compliment. Ivan was dying when she did that. She's like, "But I got it because it looked like you." I was like, "Okay, that's certainly not the way I would have presented it." But in any case, yes, Shadow, we are hitting the witching hour, so I think you are right. The House of the Dragon people should be in charge of D&D moves. Oh my God,
Hey,
not that a bad idea. We could see that.
I like that.
Folks, we're going to wrap this up. Huge turnout tonight. Thank you all. It was mentioned last week, and I'm still thinking about this, and it makes me smile that the other live streams that I do, people tune in to see Tenkar and his friends. But on Saturday nights, you tune in, spend time with Eric and Rach. And that is awesome. That is spot on. So thank you.
Thanks so much, everybody.
This is the highlight of my week. It's a great way to round out a Saturday night. So game on. Be safe, be well. God bless. Roll those dice, roll them well. I will be back tomorrow, maybe talking about what Rob Conley had shown me earlier about drive-thru is ready to remove all the OGL content. Wouldn't that have been interesting from their market, from their storefront? All right, folks.
Take good care, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you for spending your time with us. It really means an awesome amount.